everyone, my name is Paula Brown, and I am here to share with you ways that you can keep your respiratory system healthy. I grew up in the Central Valley of California in a city that has the worst air pollution in the country. And from that, I've always been very passionate about how I can support my family to keep their respiratory system strong so that air pollution doesn't have a negative effect on them. But besides air pollution, there's also just environmental pollutants in the air and in our lives that we feel because it affects how we breathe. It affects our lungs, it affects our nasal passages. And so what can you do to keep yourself in a state of a well-functioning respiratory system? The first thing I want to recommend is purification. You can use this in the diffuser, and this will help to pull out some of those nuisances that end up in the air in our homes or even in the car. So diffuse purification, it does have a cleaning effect on our indoor air, and that's a great step in the right direction to keep the respiratory system functioning. The other oil is an oil called RC, and that comes usually in the premium starter kit. Sometimes it's substituted out with one of the alternatives, but usually it comes in the premium starter kit. RC is a blend that was designed by Young Living, by Gary Young, to support the respiratory system. So this is a great oil to diffuse, or you can even put it with a carrier oil and rub it on the throat, behind the ears. I even put a little bit right here underneath my nose, and also, of course, diffuse that in the air, and that will also help keep your respiratory system strong. My favorite combination for, sometimes our respiratory system changes in the seasons, and there's some seasons that wreak more havoc, like spring and fall for most people, or even summer. Where the respiratory system really changes, where all of a sudden we're noticing that the quality of the air outside is changing because things are blooming and it's changing. And although it's beautiful, especially here in California, it's springtime in California, we've had such abundant rain. There are wildflowers everywhere, which is beautiful until it affects us in a negative way. So the best thing I've ever found for that type of irritant is what I call the allergy trio, and it is equal parts lavender, lemon, and peppermint. So the first step is to just diffuse it in the air with your diffuser, equal 3 drops each, or however your diffuser works, and see if that has a nice effect. If that doesn't, then grab something like this, put equal parts of lavender, peppermint, and lemon in an empty bottle, and then fill it with a carrier oil. So I usually go halfway with the oils, and then I fill it with a carrier oil, and then put this nice little roller ball on it, and then you can roll it, not rub it. Well, you could rub it, but roll it behind the ears. And then a great place for this trio is behind the neck. So right at the back of the neck, and then on the inside of the wrists. My husband and son both carry this in their pocket this time of year. Well, my son carries it in his backpack. And this has had a huge effect on that, strengthening the respiratory system so that they can enjoy those wildflowers outside with me as I drag them along without being affected in a negative way by them. So sometimes even this topical application of this allergy trio isn't quite enough. So then you move to taking it internally. So you can take one of these nice little gel caps, and then again, for my husband, I put 5 drops of each into a gel cap. So for some people, this can be a little difficult to take this bottle and balance it in the gel cap, but I just found this great trick. Thank you, Stephanie. And you take this sample bottle that we get in our premium starter kit. So I'm going to put 5 drops of peppermint vitality, 5 drops of lavender vitality, and then sadly I don't have my lemon vitality, but this lemon will work just fine, and 5 drops of my lemon vitality. And then you take the gel cap and it fits perfectly in this, and you turn it upside down. And then you have a nice capsule of the allergy trio. So that's my favorite trick of the month. Again, thank you, Stephanie, for that. So if this is when it's really bad. And so if my husband's having challenges and his respiratory system's just not keeping him happy, then I give him this capsule of the oils, and usually within 30 minutes he feels a huge difference. And so that's always fun for me. The last one I want to share with you today is, sometimes it's not so much the seasons that affect it, but it's something that's in our house. Like, give me 1 second and I'll show. It could be something like this, like our furry little friends that we like so much, but sometimes they don't keep us feeling great. A great combination is orange and lavender. So try this. You can diffuse it. You can even just open up the bottles like this and put it in your hand and see if that helps you or your friends about lavender and orange. And also, if you need to, you can rub it on the back of your neck. So there's a few ideas for helping the respiratory system. And also know that peppermint on its own can be very helpful for those environmental nuances. And lavender on its own can be very helpful for those environmental nuances. So I hope that helps, and I hope that you enjoyed this. And thank you for joining me. Have a great day.